Welcome to Feel Resilient. Who to trust with your health, your liberty, your sustainability, and your spirituality. In the last couple of videos, I've been showing you some images trying to define the idea of what it means to be resilient. And again, the definition of resilient is to be able to withstand difficult circumstances and to bounce back from difficult circumstances. And in that first video, I showed you the image of the woman who was walking into the storm with the umbrella of protection around her. And the second video, I showed you the image of the young woman who had just come out of the storm. Second part of that, of course, is bouncing back from these difficult circumstances. Today, I want to introduce you to some of the things that I'm thinking about in terms of sustainability, and particularly about food security. And in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another image here today as we talk. And so again, I'll share my screen, pull this up, and we'll look at this together as we talk about this idea of sustainability and particularly food security. There's a lot of people who are concerned. My concern is growing, not only with energy prices, food prices. Here's just a story about some local things that are going on. My wife goes into Costco to buy some cinnamon and raisin bagels, which she was buying those for me because I like those with my morning coffee. So she went to pick up these bagels at Costco and they didn't have any. And so she asked, "Well, no bagels? Why?" And first of all, they didn't have two things. They didn't have the ingredients that day to make them. And secondly, they didn't have enough staff to make them. And I'm thinking, really? All right. So Costco is a good place to work, high wages, et cetera, and they can't find people who are willing to work there. And then secondly, the ingredients to make those bagels didn't show up that day. Now, is that just it's an example of something one-off, or is that sort of a picture of what's going to be happening, as we move forward? And I have a friend named Martin who you'll have a chance to meet, but he quotes other experts around the idea that how ridiculous it would be for us and how ridiculous it is to be dependent on someone else or other systems in order to feed ourselves. So how vulnerable we are if we think that our food and water, et cetera, things that we need to sustain ourselves are in the hands of someone else and we're dependent on someone else. And so this whole idea of sustainability, becoming more self-sufficient, and I have to tell you, I'm nowhere along this journey. I'm just really beginning, which we'll talk about some of the things. And my invitation to you, depending on where you're at in the journey, maybe you're starting at scratch like me, or you've got lots of experience about these ideas and how to start thinking about growing some of your own food and being more self-sufficient, particularly in your food supply. So we're going to be talking a lot about these issues. This is just, again, an introduction to this idea of sustainability and then to food security and the importance of us at least start to think about how can we be less dependent on someone else and other systems for our food security and start developing more security for our food, both for ourselves and, of course, for our children and grandchildren. Introducing you to the idea, and let's move forward together as we feel resilient in the food that we access in our food security. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video.